See you soon.
What's up, guys? It has been 848 days since a Man of Mischief review has gone up. That's right, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to season 2. My name is Kyle. Guys, we got our Loki shirt here. We're here for glorious purpose. 848 days since I put up my review of Man of Mischief, episode 1, which is insane. It feels like it's been even longer than that, guys. But I wanted to kick off season 2 with a little special unboxing of Loki, the complete first season in 4K. And guys, look at this. Can you just look at it, dude? This thing is beautiful. I'm super excited. I have not watched season 1, so I'm gonna watch, obviously, which is why I got the set. But guys, look at this. See that pretty good, guys. So we got Miss Minutes here. There's a 2-disc set. Let me pop out this first disc. I won't place this. Okay, so it's just more Miss Minutes. Más o menos minutes, you know what I mean? I love the orange of the TVA. And there's a little, looks like a little art book here. And then we got our beautiful Tom Hiddleston, Loki, and the TVA jacket behind that. But let's go ahead and pop this open. Okay, so we got Alligator Loki here. Looks like we have, is this TVA crew? This is the first time I'm seeing this, so. Weird one to put in there. If you guys can see, is this supposed to be for season 2? Who is that, you know? I don't think it's Morbius. Not Morbius. Mobius. It's kind of weird. And then, oh, that's really cool. This is the last one. This is the smoke demon monster that Loki faces at the end of season 1. So let's get all 3 of these together. Yeah, man. That's the unboxing. Nice little special. I have not watched it yet. I am about to watch episode 1 now. So I haven't seen the series since I read the series back originally June 10th, 2021 was my pilot episode. And I'm so excited, dude. I hope Jonathan Majors' legal stuff clears up because I love him as Kang, and I thought him as spoilers obviously for Loki season 1, him as He Who Remains at the end was awesome. So I'm super excited to watch that again. I'm super excited just to see everything because I've only seen the episodes once. And now to have it in 4K. Also, this is the first Marvel Studios series that's come out. And I saw on Best Buy's website that WandaVision is also coming out. So don't know if I'll get that. I might just because I feel like I have every MCU movie in 4K. I feel like this was a must buy for me. For Loki being one of my favorite things the MCU has ever done. And I don't know how I feel about WandaVision, but maybe we'll grab that for some future content, perhaps. On the back of the sleeve, it said there's a gag reel and bloopers and stuff, and the making of the TVA. And I think they took the assembled episode that's on Disney Plus. So, is all of Loki season 1 on Disney Plus? Yes. Do I have Disney Plus? Yes. But you know what, dude? 4K. I love my 4K media. For video games, I have not had any physical video games in a decade, probably since PS4. So. I don't ever have physical video games. I think it's pointless. I love being able to switch and download and re-download and all that stuff. But for physical media, I know streaming can be good, but I love the 4K. I think there's nothing that beats a nice crisp 4K picture. So anyway, guys, I'm rambling. That's the Loki 4K limited edition, complete first season 4K steelbook. Man, it's so cool. It's so awesome, dude. And yeah, like I said, I'm about to pop on episode 1 now, so I'm super excited to rewatch the series. And let's get to season 2, episode 1. They did it. They did it, guys. I don't know how, but Marvel may have just produced the greatest thing that they have ever made. What a start to season 2, guys. Welcome to Project Potter. Welcome to season 2 of Man of Mischief, guys. And as I mentioned in the intro, 848 days since I put up my first review. So a lot's changed, guys. I would like to think I'm a better editor. We got a new look, a new Loki hat here, guys. We got our Loki shirt. And guys, our variant jacket. Come on, guys. We got a new setup, obviously. This is a different setup for a different season, and this season has a different vibe. We're going to follow a similar format, guys. I'm going to do a Born to Rule, which is my favorite character, some of my favorite scenes. I'm not going to do like a full recap, though. And then a Get Help, which is going to be my least favorite character, and a score out of 10. So, guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Go check out the other content, and let's go. Like the multiverse branches, like the Nexus events branching off, that's what my mind is doing right now, because this episode, I was just in awe. First of all, this episode was shot, filmed, and acted like a Wes Anderson film. It was so good. Even just like kind of, actually this angle kind of looks like it now. But there were characters that were like quirky and they were weird, and everything was just shot. They were closer up on the faces of everyone, I feel like, but like just the way it was framed, everyone was kind of in the center. But then just cutting back between that table where, you know, Loki prunes the wall and the Kang faces are behind it, which was incredible, dude. And Loki time skipping back and forth, and just the quality was so high. I was like, oh, Loki's back, dude. And not only is Loki back, and I just finished watching the season 1 finale tonight, and I was like, man, dude, season 1 is a masterpiece. Like every single episode. And I went back and watched my reviews, and I'm like, oh, this was great. And I'm like, oh, I'm not so high on this one. And I'm like, what am I talking about? Because, dude, I went back and watched season 1, and it is perfect. It's so good. And so I'm like, damn, season 2, they have a tough challenge ahead of them, because season 1 was great, and you know, people are kind of low on Marvel right now, myself included, where it's like there's been very few things of like high quality post Endgame. But Loki season 1 was so great. But it's been a couple years. It's been literally 2 years since season 1. So it's like, how can they hit that bar? And not only did they hit that bar, dude, they blew right past it. It's just so good and genuinely hilarious, where he's like time skipping in the elevator, and he's like, did you see it? And he's like, Mobius is like, yeah, I saw it. He's like, how does it feel? And he's like, well, how do you think it feels? And he's like, oh, it's not that bad. And then later on he does it again, and he's like, okay, I can't look at it anymore. He's like, I'm gonna throw up. And he's like, I thought you said it wasn't that bad. And he's like, I was lying. Man, Owen Wilson is so good as Mobius. Tom Hiddleston shines and Mobius shines, just like in season 1. I just love how it's like so trippy in the beginning, dude, where, you know, he's going back and forth, and it's like, is he in the past? Is he in the future? You know, he's like talking about, has the crack been there? So he's like in the same building, and he sees the big Kang faces, obviously. And I'm actually really surprised we didn't get actual Jonathan Majors in this one, but, you know, obviously we're waiting for that. But having just seen the finale, season 1 finale, I haven't rewatched that for the first time in a couple years, in all its 4K glory. Oh my God, it looks so good. He Who Remains, Jonathan Majors just crushes it, dude, in that role. Having him just steal that episode, the finale, and him talking about how there was a variant of him. He was on Earth, and he was a scientist, and he discovered there's multiple universes. But then we see in the season 2 preview, we see like this, you know, Kang with glasses, and we presume that's probably the first one, but it's just so good. And so to jump in here, and like Kang's presence is just there. And remember, guys, that season 1 ended with Loki talking to Mobius and be like, oh my God, he's coming, all the variants are coming. And then Mobius is like, who are you? So Loki was in the past, I think, at that point. I thought he was in like another multiverse, but he's actually just in the past, which is even cooler. And he's time skipping, and then we get the star of the show, Ouroboros, dude. Oh my God, what an intro to a character. One of my favorite characters in fiction immediately, dude. So funny, his tone is hilarious. When he's like, okay, can we solve this problem? He's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, we need a device for it. He's like, yeah. And he's like, do you have the device? He's like, no. His tone was so funny, and I love how it was cutting back, and that was so clever how it's like Mobius in the present and Loki in the past. And he's like, wait, maybe I do have one of those. And it was so good, dude. It was like genuinely like so clever, and I'm like, this is what the MCU can be. This felt like a movie. It really did. The quality was so high, and this was like far and above better than anything in season 1, which was so crazy to me, because season 1, having just watched it, was so great. And I'm like, they can't top season 1. And already, dude, my expectations are so high now. So many great moments. Like I said, when Loki prunes the wall, when they have that meeting with that excellent like triangle table, where it's like just the way that was shot, dude, where it was like 100 B-15 is talking to this lady who's sitting like this, and she looks kind of weird. She almost looks kind of CG, or she looks kind of like almost like in a Tim Burton movie, and that was cool. But again, everything was like so Wes Anderson, and I love Wes Anderson style, so I was so into this. It's just genuinely like hilarious, and it brought up some real things where it's like gotta give these people free will, and they're talking about how Mobius and B-15 are talking about how like we can't tell these people the TVA is a lie and everything, and you know this guy's like, look at this robot head, and they're like, everything you know, your gods are out the window, and it's this really crazy thing where it's like basically, what if everything you knew was a sham or was a lie? And you know, she's like, Founder B-15 is like, these people have lives on the timelines, and we're taken this way, and that's kind of what Sylvie was talking about at the end of season 1. But I mean, He Who Remains was straight up like, if you kill me, there are millions and millions of Kang variants that are going to come for you. They're going to start a multiversal war. And he's like, look, this might not be great, but he's like, the TVA keeps things in order. I keep you guys safe. And he's like, I just don't want to do this anymore. You guys can take over. Sylvie is like, you're lying. And she's like so hell-bent on revenge. And Loki is like, no, I believe him. And it's hard to go back and watch that and be like, Sylvie, you got to stop. Because Loki is like, no, what if something is much worse? And Sylvie's like, nah, dude. And she tricks Loki, obviously. And so now they gotta hunt down Sylvie. But it's just, man, everything is so quirky in this episode. And I loved every bit of it. It felt so fresh and good. Freaking Mobius going out there in that suit, dude. And he's like, is that crack in here? And he put some duct tape on it. But Ouroboros was so awesome, man. And Mobius and Loki. I mean, this was just a powerhouse of acting, and it was so good. And again, everything was so trippy. I was like, oh, what's going on? And I'm like thinking in my head, like trying to figure out, is he in the past? How is he time skipping? Where is he? And it's just so good. And some of the mystery of season 1 was ratcheted up to 11 here. So it just kind of set the stage for like some crazy stuff about to happen in season 2. So I cannot wait. And I absolutely adored this episode. Okay, guys, Born to Rule, which is my favorite character, dude, it's Ouroboros. Immediately, like I said, one of my favorite characters of all time. He was just so good and so charismatic and energetic and quirky and intelligent and hilarious. And it's so funny how like they're talking about how this plan has to go correctly, and then they're like, okay, well, what happens if we don't do it in time? And he's like, well, if your skin's gonna come off like a spaghetti. He's like, you know what? The less you know about that, the better. And just like Mobius writing skin question mark on the side is so funny. And then like that's actually how Loki knows that he's in the future. And so interesting. We do actually see Sylvie in the elevator, and I think she prunes him. That was kind of confusing, but then obviously gets through. But the emotional moments too. He's counting down. He's like 4, 3, 3, and he's like, he wants Loki to show up, but he's like, I'm sorry. And he presses the button, and then Loki obviously comes through at the last second, which I thought was a bit of a cop out, but I still really enjoyed it. Ouroboros, man, what a champion! What an incredible performance, and what a great introduction. And when you introduce new characters, especially in a show that was like so beloved, like Loki season 1 was, they got to fit right in. And man, he just knocks it out of the park. And it's like, I want more Ouroboros, and so hopefully he doesn't overstay his welcome. But what a job! And the actor just absolutely killed it in this one. Get Help, which is my least favorite character, I actually don't have a single person. I thought everyone was fantastic. I thought this was just an exceptional episode of television, and it didn't feel like television. It felt like a movie. I didn't have a single actor or actress that I thought that didn't fit well, or that didn't work, or they, so for the Get Help award, the worst character, we didn't need to get help, dude. We didn't need any help at all. Guys, a score out of 10. Guys, it's a freaking million out of 10. This is better than anything in season 1. And like I said, I loved season 1. I thought season 1 was a masterpiece. I literally just got done watching it tonight. Again, rewatching it, I should say. And this just sets the bar. Rewatching Loki season 1, I was like, man, we've had so many like subpar or bad MCU stuff since then. The last thing was Secret Invasion, and go watch my review of Off the Grid, guys. Secret Invasion was terrible. It was like probably the worst thing that Marvel's ever done since like the MCU started. Loki season 1, I'm like watching it, I'm like it's kind of bittersweet, because I'm like, man, this was when like Marvel was so special, and it's like they really had something here. And this was before like No Way Home came out, and there was so much potential, and Multiverse of Madness and all that stuff. And so to flash forward now, and we've gotten all those MCU movies and stuff, and now it's like, man, we almost need Loki season 2 to kind of reset the MCU and get it back on a right track, because it feels like it's kind of flailing right now. And they've announced like the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie and stuff, but it's like the Avengers aren't what they were and all that stuff. And there's obviously a ton of potential to bring back huge characters like Iron Man and Cap and all that stuff, and we'll see what happens. But the MCU is kind of flailing, and it's in trouble, and it's reeling a little bit. It's kind of branching out. Like there's some chaos with the timeline. So Loki season 2, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on it. And boy, did it deliver in the first episode. There's obviously 5 more to go. I really liked that it's only 6 episodes. I thought 6 episodes was a perfect amount for season 1 because every episode was a banger. And if season 2, if this is the worst episode of season 2, guys, oh my goodness, dude. Unbelievable. So I'm a sucker for things that are shot well and things that are acted well and clever writing. And, again, it's like they took everything that worked in season 1 and ratcheted up to a 12 for season 2 for the opener. So, and we didn't even see Jonathan Majors in this one. His presence was all throughout. And, I know he had some legal stuff going on, but I think they shot everything with him here. And I don't know, but I think his legal stuff is going to drop because from what I've read, it kind of seems like it was all a bunch of, like he's kind of in the right there. So hopefully, I'm not a legal expert, but hopefully that all works itself out. It just reminds you like how much of a force Jonathan Majors is as Kang, and how Kang can be this like bigger than Thanos level villain, this Avengers level threat, this multiversal threat, and how important he is to the MCU and their success, and to get them back on track because the Infinity Saga was so great, but the MCU really has lost a step. And this felt to me like not only are they back on track, but it's like, oh, they can still cook up something special. Like, someone let Marvel cook here, guys. I'm so excited for the rest of the season. Incredible first episode. I really couldn't believe how good it is. And like I said, guys, this is one of the best things the MCU has ever produced. And it might be number 1. I don't want to be, reactive and overreact here, but the level of quality was exceptional. It really was just crazy, and I just love the trippy vibe of it to start, and it's still really funny too. And so, man, it's when you mess with multiverse stuff, anything can happen, anyone can show up, and I'm sure there's going to be at least 1 or 2 massive cameos in this season. And so I'm excited to see where they go with it. And man, I'm so in, and for the first time in a long time, I'm stoked for a Marvel product. And so that's where we're at. All right, guys, that is the season 2 opener of Man of Mischief, or Loki in review. Man, I'm so excited to be back, guys. A lot's changed, not only me as a content creator and a producer and an editor, and so hopefully this will be a lot cleaner, but just the MCU needed this, man. They needed this to get back.
Is that back? Because I've been dying for that to come back.
We're back, baby. Man of Mischief, season 2. Keep an eye out for these guys. Appreciate you guys. Go check out the other content. Until next time, guys. Glorious purpose.